Good morning, y'all. This is JRC99US coming semi-live from my truck, aka the JRC99US mobile, and I am trying my new lapel mic I have. I found it on Temu as part of a deal, so hopefully it works okay. So far it looks good, and I've tested it so far. It's not bad. It doesn't have the probably the deeper voice, almost sounds a little AM radio-ish, but hey, it works for now, and if I get a better one later, I will. Well, I wanted to make this video today based on what I watched last night when it came to Nerdrotic's video about the death of Star Trek. And of course, I was a little hesitant to watch it because I know Nerdrotic Gary. He is a big shill for Picard Season 3, which honestly, like I've said before, is a huge dumpster fire, and it still remains that. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says. I really don't care what a bunch of so-called Trekkies say about it. It was still a dumpster fire. And once again, I will point this out. The shilling of Picard Season 3 is the reason we got Section 31, continued seasons of Strange New Worlds, more Rick and Morty in space, and of course, the infamous Starfleet Academy. So, Gary started off with his usual things about how, you know, Alex Kurtzman did this and J.J. Abrams did that, and he was right. He wasn't wrong there. And then, of course, he put in there is like, I think, and I personally think that the best Star Trek we ever had latest was Picard Season 3. Of course, I just rolled my eyes at that and just moved on. And he had some really good points about everything. He was talking, I think the funniest part was when he talked about how people are shocked that conservatives and libertarians and Republicans and Christians absolutely love Star Trek more than the left does. And I agree with that as well. Then he got into this whole thing about just absolutely praising the heck out of Picard Season 3, where he got to a point like saying, hey, we can decanonize all of Kurtzman New Trek, but we can keep Picard Season 3. Oh my gosh. Gary, no, you can't. Picard Season 3 is heavily tied to Picard Season 1 and Season 2. Pretty much all of New Trek. There's no way to get around that, okay? If somebody, like for example, a lot of people say, hey, you could watch this without watching any of the previous seasons, and you would actually pick up on it, and it wouldn't be confusing. Well, yeah, it would be confusing. First of all, why is 7 of 9 in a Star Trek The Next Generation TV show? Why is 7 of 9 a lesbian? By the way, who is this Rafi character who seems like she's been an integral part of the Picard series since the beginning, who seems like maybe I should watch the previous two to understand who this is? And of course, as always, why do we have space shotguns, everything's in the dark, and we can't do anything without having member berries thrown into our face to remind us that we're watching a Star Trek show, quote unquote. So, once again, I'm just pointing this out. Everybody knows where I stand on Picard Season 3. I'm in complete alignment with Doomcock, as everybody knows, and no, Doomcock, once again, is not making me say these things. I watched the series myself, and it was absolutely a dumpster fire. The entire show was just 90% of the show was just a whole bunch of filler that really wasn't necessary to the actual plot of the show. And once again, also, it dealt with something that really didn't need to be dealt with, that we all accepted and we moved on. First of all, Captain Picard's family, unfortunately, passed away in generations. Okay? That happened. It's sad, it's tragic, but the thing is that he actually moved on with that. So did we. Also, the Enterprise D was destroyed in generations. I know, it's sad. We missed the Enterprise D, but we moved on from that, okay? Now, one of the things also I wanted to give Gary some credit. He actually said that when he was watching Enterprise that the whole Rick Berman era of Star Trek was starting to feel a little dated and dusty, and he says now that we are in this new Trek crap hole, he says, I owe Rick Berman a big apology. So good on you, Gary, for saying that. There's a lot of people in the Star Trek realm who are fighting for Star Trek to get Star Trek back, and a lot of them were originally saying, "Oh yeah, Rick Berman ruined everything. He just did everything else. Look what he did with Insurrection and Nemesis and stuff, and heck, look what he did with Generations." Now, I will agree, Generations is not my favorite. I don't like it. There are 3 Star Trek movies that I really don't like: Star Trek V, Star Trek Generations, and Star Trek Insurrection. Believe it or not, everything else I have no problem with. And you know, and credit to where's credit's due. Rick Berman, holy moly, he was the only one that truly was the successor to Gene Roddenberry. He really was. But he's not perfect, and we all know nobody's perfect, and he made some flops. And of course, the most infamous flop, excuse me, wow, I'm getting a seizure here, is where These Are the Voyages, the final episode for Enterprise. As everybody said, didn't feel like an episode of Enterprise, it just felt like another episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. That's a good criticism, and he's right. And guess what Rick did? He didn't trash the fans. He didn't say that they were bigoted and they're white supremacists or they're racists or they're homophobes or anything like that. No, he actually realized his mistake and he apologized to the fans, the Trekkies. And the thing is, though, is that one thing that I look at when I watch These Are the Voyages, yes, I see where the criticism is correct and is well established. But you also have to realize Rick Berman was pushed against the clock to end the series because, as everybody knows, the well-known killer of Star Trek, Les Moonves, stepped in and killed Star Trek. That's why we haven't had any good Star Trek since 2005. So, in conclusion, I'm not trying to make this long because I tend to ramble and I'm sure you hear it all the time in my voice. In conclusion, what Gary said on Nerdrotic about keeping Picard Season 3 and just absolutely shilling for obvious new Trek. I'm not going to go into the details. You guys can watch it on my review. I promise I am going to fix it. I know the sound issues. I haven't been able to have time for it. Thankfully, my studio is almost complete. But as soon as that's done, that's going to be one of my projects, is to fix my review of Picard Season 3. So I don't need to go over another review of Picard Season 3. But I do need to say this again. If you shilled for Picard Season 3, you're the reason we still have new Trek. I don't care how you look at it. I really don't, because that's what it is. You take Kurtzman's name was plastered on the credits. I saw it every day. I saw it's like directed by Terry Matalas, executive producer Alex Kurtzman. And guess what? Picard Season 3 is tied to Picard Season 1 and 2, which is tied to Discovery, which is tied to the Kelvin timeline, the destruction of the Romulan Empire, and that's it. There's no way to get around that. Okay? If you like Picard Season 3, good on you. But if you're so desperate to hold on to an obvious piece of trash like Picard Season 3 because you just wanted your member-berry fix, well, I don't know what to tell you. When Kurtzman goes away, and he will, Picard Season 3 is just naturally going to go with it. We didn't need a third goodbye. We already had All Good Things, and we had Nemesis. I don't care what you say about Nemesis, it was still a goodbye. We already had All Good Things. And may I also remind you that Star Trek VI was created specifically to give a proper send-off to the TOS crew, the original series. It wasn't because, oh, we're just going to say one more goodbye, or we got to have a fond farewell and stuff like that. They didn't get their farewell. Star Trek was literally canceled in the middle of Season 3. They didn't get to say goodbye. Those are TV executives from the late 60s, early 70s. If it's not making enough money, we're not going to put closure to it. We're just going to cancel it. That's it. Okay? So once again, if Kurtzman leaves and all of New Trek gets decanonized, which I'm hoping and praying it will, Picard Season 3 will be included. There's no way around that. And if you try to convolute something together to make it stay, well then that's just a sad state of desperation because you want to be right about something. Okay? I know I'm in the minority and I haven't changed my position. And no, I'm not going to watch Picard Season 3 again because it already pissed me off, because it ripped off real Star Trek, but most notably, it ripped off Star Wars. You know, the classic Kurtzman, the classic Kurtzman foundation of Not coming up with anything original, but also ripping off Star Wars because we want to make Star Trek look like Star Wars. And that's the other thing that Gary talked about, was how New Trek tries to make Star Trek into Star Wars. Ugh. Well, anyway, I'm done ranting, but I wanted to put that out. If you like, once again, if you like Picard Season 3, good on you. But the thing is if Kurtzman goes and New Trek goes, Picard Season 3 is going with it. There's no way around it. No matter how much you feel about it. Okay? There's no way around it. Okay. All right. Bring down. All right. Well, anyway, so yes, speaking of which, my studio should be done soon. I'm hoping my contractor will return. She's been busy on other jobs, but hopefully she'll get back. I just need to do the molding. We need to fix the fader switches, and I can move all my stuff into there, including my cool desk and my cool new chair, which I'm really excited about. I got to put it together, though. Excuse me. All right, well, this is JRC99US coming semi-live from my truck, aka the JRC99US mobile, and hopefully my next video dealing with something like this will come from my studio. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a good day. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.